Welcome to the Parental Advisory Podcast. I am your co-host, Eloso, and I am with, well, not with, but in the same call because we're still under quarantine, J-Serve.
Yo, yo.
And Wilmo, that Chiquito Rivera.
What's up?
And where can they find you guys? Your Instagrams and Snapchats?
Bilmo.
I go first, the brown man. My name is the Wilmo, and you can find me on Snap and Instagram, Wilmo_Chiquito, or just look for me for my name, whatever you want. Just look for me.
I am that Chico J-Serve. You can find me at JServe954 on all social media. JSERVE954. J-Serve TV for my YouTube. Be on the lookout for that. New content coming up soon. And, once again, thank you to everybody that streamed the Care Freestyle. We're well over 1,500 streams now, on track to go to 2,000, so thank you very much. Real quick, before we jump over to Elo's socials and all that stuff, on Spotify, for Serving Soul and for mine, personal one, has a donation button that is currently available. I understand that times are tough, but if any and all donations will be gladly accepted, and 25% of those donations will be going to Feeding America. That is a company that is helping keep food banks across the country be stocked, that helps those that are currently hit hardest by the virus of COVID-19. So, So be sure to check that out on my Spotify page, to all my Spotify peeps. And, thank you very much. Hello?
You guys can find me at Elosol for my Instagram and my Twitter as well. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Elosol for my streams, which I do stream every day except every day except Wednesday and Sundays from 5 to 2 p.m. 5 to 2 a.m. So go ahead and catch me. We're definitely doing a Minecraft streams right now, opening up the DBD Minecraft. So if you're down for that, join us.
So yeah, man, we're back at it again. The Quarantine Tapes Part 2, almost, kind of, sort of. We're second edition. We are doing our best to socially distance.
Straight from the underground.
We just got an update today about that. We had a little bit of a flare-up this evening with Wilmo. You had some news to tell us today about something that happened at your job.
Of course. So, apparently, where I currently work at, about 2 weeks ago, someone stopped working because around 2 weeks ago, that's where they closed off the golf courses and stuff like that. And it goes to show that he is positive for COVID-19. So, luckily, I wasn't ever in contact with him, but it doesn't go to show you, it never goes too far to be safer than sorry. Wash your hands, do what you can,
wear a mask,
quarantine yourself. He was just out there with some snowbirds here, but you already know, snowbirds, most affected up north. These people are going everywhere, just slapping people with this.
It's crazy. So yeah, fucking Wilmo sort of encountered the beast that is COVID-19. It's fucking crazy.
But I'm okay.
Yeah, we're all okay so far. We doesn't seem like it has affected us directly, thank God. But somebody at his job had fucking COVID. It's ridiculous. It's everywhere. I mean, it killed Fred the Godson.
Yeah, it did.
35 years old, killed him. Scarface, the rapper from Houston, He is currently on dialysis because his kidneys have failed due to complications of COVID.
Really?
Yeah. What do you call it? So, like, it's getting to the point now where people, that's going to be something I've noticed that is going to be part of our generation, is that from now on, at least right now, whenever you hear of a person dying, some sort of celebrity dying, the first question is COVID. Was it COVID? Like, nobody is.
Well, maybe right now for, I would say, the next year.
No, I think for this decade.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be something like where people are going to, I mean, we got to see what the long-term effects of this stuff is, like, for people that had it and recovered and stuff like that. You know?
Well, the thing is it gonna stick around for years, just like the flu stuck around from way back when? You know what I mean? If the flu right now, you can get the flu, you know, you might get the flu again, and some people get the flu at least 2-3 times a year. I've gotten the flu twice in 1 year, which almost killed me, because, you know, who the fuck likes the flu? But, you know, right now we're in a pandemic where we're trying to suppress this. Is this going to come around in 2 to 3 years? Is this going to become an everyday thing where 20 years from now, even it's still going on, it's just like, well, now we have a shot for this. It's the COVID shot or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen eventually. It's just, this is just a stronger, mutated version of the flu virus, you know, that is more lethal. I mean, you had the Spanish flu at the turn of the century in the early 1900s, and that, you know, wiped out millions of people, and that was nowhere near the fact of the what do you call it? Because we just didn't have the antibodies and the what do you call it? The makeup in our systems to go ahead and do that. Once they developed the Spanish flu vaccine, it killed all that. But I think this is just another mutated version of that just popped up within the last 6 months, that is like, oh shit, we don't have this in our arsenal to fight. So I think once the vaccine comes out, we'll be fine. But this is just another thing of, like, you know, unlike SARS or H1N1 or the swine flu or anything like that, where you can already fight with the medicines that we already had at our disposal, like, this is some new shit. This is unprecedented.
But it's totally going to change up our everyday lives as human-to-human contact.
There's going to be there's definitely social consequences that we're gonna see from now on, you know. From, you know, if anything, we're just going to be adopting a lot of, like, you know, Japanese norms, as far as, like, from now on we might no longer shake hands, we might just, you know, bow or do the fist bump or the nod or something. You know what I'm saying? We're more than likely now going to see a lot more people just wearing masks in everyday life just for the sake of, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that stuff, you know, it took all this, and I think that's a change for the better. But at least in regular Western customs, I think we're definitely going to see. There's definitely going to be a what do you call it? A ripple effect in our day-to-day life, for sure.
I feel like that's going to. Oh no, go ahead, Wilma.
See, this is what I was saying about the video.
Well, I can't have it up because it's doing something else for my stream. So.
Hey, shut up. All I'm saying is, for the food industry, there's going to be a lot of changes. A lot of changes. But yeah, go on with your statement. You were about to say.
I was going to say something similar to what Wilmo said. It's going to change the aspect of calling out of work, because now it's, oh, are you calling out or sick or something or some shit? It's like, no, or you can come to work sick. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's
people are just going to be like, no, you can't come to work sick. Like, now.
Right. Well, one of the things I was listening to the Kevin Smith podcast and Fat Man Beyond, and he was saying one thing that he brought up, which is true. It's like the real one of the real things that could actually happen right now is the fact that a lot of these companies are now realizing that like we don't necessarily need to have all this, office space. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need to have 500 people under a building to operate, especially for people that are like working from home and stuff like that. Like there might be a mass, what do you call it, scale down.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but right now there's a Servant Soul marathon going on in Lucky's stream. A friend of ours named Case just put 5 of the songs on there to be viewed. First one is actually Token, which is not even technically a Servant Soul song, but it's not from the Soul and Serve album.
Yeah. That's dope. Shout out to Lucky. But yeah, like one of the things that I've seen it on memes and stuff too. It's like a lot of these. One of the things that has shown us about this with this virus is that a lot of these jobs that everybody fucking goes out for, wakes up early in the morning and commutes and goes through and drives to and all this traffic and stuff like that. It's like we can avoid all of that. Like 60% of the workforce can be reduced from having to physically go to a place to go do your job to just, as long as you have a strong internet connection and the hardware necessary, you can just do your job from home. So they're saying that there might be, like I said, like big office buildings that have, hundreds of people being quote unquote productive at under their supervision. They're saying that they might realize like you know what, we don't need to pay all this rent on all this space. We can have a fifth of that physically here for like the most important stuff that we need to keep our eye on, and then after that everybody else can just work from home.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if they go that route, because I don't know why people haven't done that now. I know productivity. People rather want people at the workstation, but at least this opens up the door for the people who want to work when they're sick. Like, hey, I can work from home if it's a job where I'm on the internet. Just send me the software. And the biggest thing I've always heard from jobs is we have to give people personal laptops or something so we can monitor what they're doing. And it's like, well, during this whole virus thing, we're seeing that a lot of companies are just allowing people to work from home by just providing a remote access to a server. Because I never understood this. Now that I'm into computers and I have some knowledge, I'm fairly sure that if you were just buy a server that will hold maybe a couple of people who you want to have on working from home, it would be a lot more cost efficient than buying laptops that need to have that software in it. If they already have it, if they already have like a good computer that can take it, because it's not just internet connection. It's can your computer even run this software that we're trying to do?
Right. That's what I was saying about as long as you have a strong internet connection and the adequate hardware, you can just do it from home.
Right.
Then everything will be okay.
And I want to touch on I don't want to change topics too quickly, but I want to touch on the whole protest things going on. I find it I've learned something about the Trump supporters now, and I'm specifically saying the Trump supporters just because I'm seeing people with Trump hats and the Make America. So obviously they're Trump supporters if they're not wearing those during protests. I'm noticing that it doesn't matter what you are, who you are. If you're not aligned with their ideas, you are scum of the earth, un-American.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm just thinking, what if it had to do with something with the Army? What if veterans were out there trying to stop people from doing these protests, like nurses? Because I've seen people just say the most fucked up things to nurses who are literally on the front lines of this whole thing, telling them they're scum. I saw one clip of a woman saying, how can you guys be here instead of the hospitals? And the nurse's reply is like, this is my day off, and I'm here trying to stop you guys from spreading it more. Mm-hmm. And their response was, well, you should have just went in free of charge. You're scum. You're worthless. Shame on you. And I'm just like, wow. I don't understand.
Well, yeah. Logic is something that is strong with the MAGA group. We're talking about people that, we're talking about fucking, it's a sea of Karens that are that are fucking complaining about the fact that they can't get their hair and nails done. I mean, Georgia reopened is starting to reopen the state, and they've seen the biggest spike in fucking coronavirus cases since the pandemic fucking started. So it's weak people with weak constitutions making weak-minded decisions that is ironically just going to kill all the weak immune systems that is all around them. Because it's literally like, you had one lady, I don't know if she was just trolling or what, but there was this one white lady that, I mean, you look at her and you're just like, oh, I know you voted for Trump. Just by the haircut alone. You're like, I know she voted for Trump. And she literally said, she's like, I don't understand why this coronavirus is such a big deal. I don't drink Coronavir. We drink natural light.
I'm done.
Yeah, there's people like that.
The reason we drink natural light is because it's natural and it's light. I was laughing so fucking hard.
The funniest thing I've seen is the one guy that they were interviewing on CNN. I think he was one of the first wave of these protesters of the anti-lockdown, and he put a sign that said the coronavirus is fake news. But yet he's wearing full.
Oh yeah, that was in California.
Full, yeah, he's wearing full gear. I'm talking about, like, it's good. It's good enough for you just to wear the mask. He's got the mask, the hazmat that's going. Yeah, painter's outfit. It's going over his head. He's got goggles, so he makes sure nothing gets in his eyes. He's going well and further beyond what normal people are doing to protect themselves, because people are just putting gloves and a mask. This guy covered every inch of his body to make sure nothing touches him, that everything is covered. Yet he thinks this shit is fake.
You know what? I'm glad you bring that up. Do you think
I feel like that guy was trolling. That had to be a guy that was trolling.
Okay, thank you, because I feel like he was just in there to be like one of those niggas.
I feel like maybe I got to look more, and he has a YouTube channel, and this was a humongous troll.
Like it has to be. There's no way.
Like I don't understand. If you think it's fake, then why are you gearing up? I can understand the people who didn't gear up and they're like, this is fake. Well, yeah, you're not geared up. You think it's fake. You're a dumbass. But to the person who's geared up but yet saying it's fake, is it like my mind is doing something that I don't want it to do? Like what? It's the Trump people that I'm just like, I just don't understand. Like, what if it was veterans out there? What if this was something that the veterans didn't like, or it was anything else, and you call them scum? It's like, these are literally people who fought for our country, like, and they're the enemy? Like, well, Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
Well, when you have a demagogue as your fucking leader, we're talking about a man that when a little bit of pressure is put on him by the press at his White House conferences, he calls people. He immediately says that's a nasty question. Like anything that he just doesn't like, he throws a petulant fit like a child. We're talking about a fuck that literally delayed relief checks to citizens so that they can put his name on it.
The funniest thing I've seen I've seen a lot of funny things going on in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. The one where he's telling people the UV lights, they can go into the body, and maybe you can even put disinfectant. And the doctor's face. That's probably the funniest thing. But the most interesting thing I saw was it was in the beginning. Well, right after the beginning of this happening, right when we started locking down shit. And a reporter asked him, they're like, hey, you know, the loan process, the loan forgiveness or whatever that's going on for these small businesses, it seems to have gotten off on a little bit of a confusing start because people are applying, but they're saying they're being denied for these reasons. So they're trying to see if they're, Trump says, man, that's really a nasty way to start that question. Why couldn't you say that why couldn't the question have started off saying, you know, this is a fantastic program helping millions of people that just got off with a few glitches. Why couldn't you say it that way? And it's like, but it's not. It came out like, I'm just like, well, what do you want her to say? What?
Exactly.
Like, you want us to say that the shit went off great, but yet had a couple issues? Like, even you sound like you know that it came off wrong, but you just want them to spin it in a different way. It's like,
yeah, the man's a complete fucking retard. I know you're not supposed to say that word anymore, but it's really the only way to fucking describe this dude.
Mike Pence went to the fucking the Mayo Clinic without any protective gear on.
Yeah.
And they were saying it was because he wanted to look more personal.
Yeah, which is fucking retarded.
My buddy Izzle sent me a video last night when I was streaming, and it was during the White House. It was last night's press briefing, and it was right when they're like setting up the chairs and everything. So the video's already going on in the background, right? They're recording. They're not live, but they're recording. Sometimes it's live, like you know if CNN is during, like, let's say they're doing a story. And they're like, hey, we're showing the White House press briefing room, and we're going to be joining them shortly. And it's just like an empty panel. No one's there yet.
Right, yeah.
Did you just push down something? Because I heard myself.
No.
Oh, weird. Okay. I don't hear myself anymore. So, yeah, when they go to that and they show the room. So apparently they were recording, and one of the people who, I guess, puts the chairs down, one of the White House staff that, like, gets the chairs ready, was like, you don't have to worry about anybody in here because we're all vaccinated.
Oh, yeah.
You seen that video? I don't know. Now, people are saying that like I was just joking, but it's just like, what in the fuck are they? I feel like that was planted. Like, what the fuck is that? That's just to stir up some more shit. I feel like they know what they're doing. Like, that to me didn't seem like, that's no conspiracy theory. I don't think people are vaccinated. I'm not. And if they are, well, shit, I don't know. That's a whole other fucking story right there. But I feel like they probably told, hey, just say this in the middle of that shit. Just, maybe it will get people talking. Who knows? Who knows where this? Trump is like trying anything. It's like, who knows? Maybe they'll start talking about football all of a sudden. Just fucking try it.
Like, it's weird that, you do know that every time when he has those the COVID update press briefings or whatever.
Yeah.
You know that before he starts those press briefings, before he gets up on the podium and starts speaking, he plays like a highlight reel video for them to watch.
Of what?
Of his.
Don't tell me it's like his greatest hits in the press briefings.
No, literally, it's like
it's just a video of you're wrong, you're nasty. Why couldn't you say it better?
No,
you are shameful.
It's literally videos of like posting up facts, like showing him in action, like as far as like talking, and then they'll post a factoid about like, oh, we've helped lower the curb in New York City, and it's like that's got nothing to do with you, bro. That's all Cuomo.
That's Cuomo.
Like,
what do you?
Like, he's literally doing all that shit. Like,
well, that's Trump. I mean, Trump.
Reel.
Yeah, Trump. I mean, the highlight reel is hilarious, but that's Trump's 101 right there. Take credit for something you didn't do.
Right. Like when you had that one. I think we talked about it in the last episode, or I did. When you had the one lady that was like, so you say that you don't take responsibility for the slow roll to this with this virus, yet it was your administration that disbanded the pandemic response team. He just literally goes, I don't know anything about that. I didn't do that.
I remember that one. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. As a matter of fact, Tony, he goes to some dude named Tony. He's like, Tony.
That was the most blatant one. That left people stunned, because it's like, we literally have you on fucking video at another press briefing saying this, like when it first started, and now you're saying I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's Trump, man. I don't know. He definitely is gonna go down as one of the most interesting and funniest fucking people to watch, man. At least for me. He's gonna be the one president that I'm gonna be like, man, I remember when Trump was around and that shit was crazy as fuck. You never knew what was gonna happen. Never knew when you looked into the news that day what the fuck he was gonna do.
Me personally, like, this dude has made me appreciate Bush so much more.
Yeah.
Because
I used to think Bush was the worst.
At the very least, Bush, as dumb as he was nowhere near as fucking egotistical as this dumb fuck is.
Well, Trump hasn't put us in a war yet, so let's hold off on that one.
First of all, listen, it may have happened during Bush's administration, but that was not from George Bush. George Bush.
I know it was from his dad. But he definitely pulled the trigger on that motherfucker.
That was from Rumsfeld, dude. Rumsfeld was the one that ran that.
True, but Bush's father did stoke the flames with, Operation, what was it? Sand something? I forgot the name of the operation. But then Bush pulled the trigger with after 9/11 with what went on, or he used 9/11 to go ahead and.
So that's what I'm saying. Even the whole 9/11 thing, that was all Rumsfeld. That was nothing to do with Bush. Bush had no say in it. He just signed the paper because his cabinet is like, yeah, we got to do this. He's like, oh, okay. So but at the very least, he was just dumb. He wasn't dumb and self-centered like this dumbass is. Like this idiot. I saw.
He at least sounded more presidential. I'll give you that. Compared to Trump.
Like, I saw a report saying that he was like, they're like, his staff members are like, he misses lunch often because he works so hard. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Works so hard? Misses lunch? First of all,
but that's amazing. That's amazing. That's true. That's amazing.
I'm like,
for him.
First of all, the man can afford to lose a few pounds as it is to begin with. All right, the man has a fucking ass that's wider than Nicki Minaj's. So the man can afford to lose a few pounds already to begin with. And anyways, what if his lunches fucking consist of anyways? Cold McDonald's sandwiches, like he feeds, championship teams that go to visit the White House. So
whenever I hear something about Trump and food, the only thing I ever think of about his trip into India and how they told him, we're not going to serve you any meat. And literally that was the topic of discussion on one of these news platforms. And it was like not it's so funny. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, no, it's like, we have no idea what's going to happen. There's a war. He could start a war because of this. We don't know, dude. We've never seen this man without a McDonald's meal in his life.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
We don't know how this shit's gonna go down, man. He might just cause a nuclear fucking war for the fucking McDonald's.
And that's the like most asinine part about it. It's like, this dude is like, literally, if he gets his feelings hurt, he's gonna want to sit there and destroy the fucking earth just because it's like, they said something mean about me.
I'm surprised McDonald's hasn't made a sandwich after Trump, the McTrump. Whole lot of mayonnaise, 3 burgers, no lettuce. No, here's what you do. You make a burger, right? No lettuce, no tomato, no veggies on it because we don't want veggies. With 3 fucking burgers on there and just put 3 patties, juiciest patties you can get. The fucking double quarter pounder shits is what I'm talking about. Put a whole lot of mayonnaise on that shit. Put Cheetos on top, and then you fucking put 2 big ass slices of bread on that. sourdough breads because it just has to look stupid.
I like where this is going. Serve me up a plate.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The fries are in a bucket.
What do you call it? This whole fucking presidency, like, I mean, even the South Park guy said it. It's like, we might just end the show by the end of 2020 because, like, we can't keep up. Like, we can't, half the shit we would have written, he actually did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, this dude, it just, especially coming out of 8 years of Obama, which, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of shit wrong during the Obama administration as well. It was nowhere near as fucking fanatical and as fucking outrageous as this presidency has been.
I don't know. I just wonder what's going to happen in 2020. Like, if he loses, because I really don't know if he's going to lose to Biden, to be honest with you. Even though a report did come out, I think, yesterday that said, or no, today. No, sorry, it was yesterday. He was, sources say that he was fucking livid with his campaign manager and fucking berated him and, like, just scolded him in front of people. Like, because his numbers plummeted, like, yesterday. Like, really bad. And, who knows? Maybe this is what breaks the second term. Because God knows nothing else is going to do it. If this don't break it, I thought the impeachment would have did it, but that didn't do it. And then if he gets through with this, dude, you might as well just say there's not going to be any more presidents because I don't think this guy's leaving.
Well, no, I mean, the American people won't allow for fucking a dictatorship to happen or whatever.
Donald Trump won't allow the people to even think about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the idea, there would literally be riots in the streets if he decides, like, you know, I'm gonna position myself here as the dictator in office for, you know, forever, or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's reports that says that he wants to be out of the White House. He wants nothing to do with the White House. Because, I mean, even like 2 years into his presidency, or like in like 8 to 10 months into his first year of the presidency, there was a report of him saying he's like, I miss my old job.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Part of the reason is because he's like, whenever I said something, it got done. I wasn't questioned. I wasn't debated. It just got done. So we're talking about a child, a bratty fucking spoiled child who is upset that he no longer just gets his way. And that's how he's viewing this entire presidency, which just goes to prove to you who this kind of, the type of fucking tyranny that he had during his businesses. That's why so many fucking people have so many stories about having worked for Mr. Trump, and they're all like, yeah, he's a fucking baby, and he pouts and throws a shit fit if it doesn't go remotely his way.
If anything, this shows the real weakness of what America is, truly. Like, it pulled the veil under them. You don't gotta beat us with strength. Just get a couple Facebook posts and start putting some shit out there. You'll get somebody that's Donald Trump who's gonna fucking. That's all. That's all he did. It's all he had to do to fucking like divide us even further, like in America, to like just cause chaos. Because ever since Trump has been in office, like America has been on this chaos wave of different shit happening during this throughout the country. You know, people divided here, people divided there. It's a whole other thing now to be a Republican, because now you're just known as a racist off the bat if you're a Republican. You know what I mean? Like, I got people who are friends that are Republican, and they're like, yeah, we don't tell people we're Republican.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I have Republican friends, and while we are completely on different ends of the spectrum on social issues, there's things that I completely understand their viewpoint on, being fiscally responsible and things of that nature. But like these Trump people, they're not even Republicans. These are members of a cult. And we're talking, and their cult leader is this dipshit that thinks that, he literally like told people, let's see if we can. He told the head of the medical chief of staff in the White House to see if we can research disinfectants in the body and UV lights in the
I like his response. He was just like, "We'll get on that."
Well, not even that. But then the next.
What do you say about this, Dr. Fauci? Putting the fucking disinfectant in the bloodstream. Yeah.
No, he didn't. He wasn't to Dr. Fauci.
No, I know. But I'm just making a fucking bit. I'm just like, that's got to be at what point is he just like, I gotta go fucking rogue on this and just fucking tell the people he's talking mad bullshit. Like,
I don't feel like he's talking mad bullshit. I just really think he's just a little puppet there, and he's just there reading some things. He doesn't know what he's reading. He's just reading.
Literally, this entire presidency could be, especially during this whole pandemic response, can be boiled down to. There was a CNN post, a CNN screenshot I saw somebody did. And it said, and it quoted Trump, colon, virus, we think that the virus won't last, through the summer.
Because of the heat. I remember.
No, hang on. It says, Trump, and then it says Trump, and then in quotations, we believe that the virus won't last through the summer. And then immediately underneath it, in the same bar, it has Dr. Fauci, colon, and then in quotations, virus will definitely last through the summer. So, like, this dude literally just says whatever the fuck comes up to his head just so that he can look good and and make his point. Like,
I really don't know why he's even in those press briefings anymore, to be honest.
He doesn't give a fuck about facts or what is actually happening or what science dictates. His experts are telling him, listen, don't say this, don't say that. And yet he goes out of his way like a fucking child to be like, don't touch that. And then he just puts his finger on it. Oh, you mean this? I'm not supposed to touch this? Like, he's such a fucking baby. Like, I've never had a visceral reaction to want to physically assault somebody, especially a president. Like, I've been critical of every president we've had in my lifetime. I've never had a sincere hate for a person. I hate this dude. This dude just sucks. Not as a president, as a human being. He is scum. Like, absolute scum. Because he is the lowest of the low. On top of the fact that he's the most incompetent fucking president since Nixon, this dude has made us the laughing stock. We're a punchline in the international community. Like, when you mention the United States in any other country, people just immediately start laughing because, unfortunately, the face of our country is this fake tan fuck in a wig that says dumb shit like maybe we should put UV light or research UV light and disinfectants in the body. That poor woman's face when he said that to her, like, she just looked down and was just looking into space, and you could just tell in her head, she's like, I have a fucking master's degree, and I have to deal with this. Like, it's insane. It's utter insanity.
Yeah. That says it all. Could say it better myself.
Well, anyways, I don't want to give this fuck more airtime than he already gets as it is. So let's go from one whiny dictator to a possible dead dictator. So Kim Jong-un is reportedly dead.
Rocket Man.
You know, he's in for a man that is clearly overweight and doesn't eat his vegetables. He's now in a vegetative state. Um, a lot of reports are coming in. I mean, TMZ, as much as I hate them, is even now reporting on that. Um, of course, the sources are still uncredited as far as or not confirmed. There's no actual confirmation from the international community as to the validity of these claims. However, what they're saying is that if indeed His Excellency is dead, his sister is the next one up to lead the nation, and apparently his sister is like Voldemort in a fucking wig.
Yeah.
Like, she's like the female version of Heath Ledger's Joker. Like, it's not about the money or the wealth or anything like that. It's about sending a message.
Yeah. Yeah, she's all about the what's it called? The power. It's not she doesn't care about, status in the world. She just wants all the power.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's another one we gotta, It's crazy because, if he does die, or if he is dead, no matter anything that Trump did with this whole, trying to make peace with them goes out the window. Because now you got to deal with her.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's like, you can just go fuck yourself because you're an American, then, I don't know. You lost the duel, I guess, Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know.
Like, yeah.
Like she just activated the trap card.
Do you think she's gonna go wild?
Who knows? Who knows? Who in the fuck knows nowadays, dude? She could just go nuclear and just say fuck it as soon as she's in power. She's like, first action, we're going to war.
We're wiping the United States off the face of the earth.
Well, she could just go balls to the walls.
Like, it's insane the fact that weren't you were telling a story off mic before we started recording about her. What is it that
it was it's a rumor that when she was young, and I guess she was going to like school or something, she was being driven there, obviously because she has drivers, and they almost hit a woman and a child, a young boy, and she apparently got out the car and told them, if you don't shoot them, or to shoot them, and the guys were like, well, why are we gonna, they're just gonna go on their way, we're gonna go back in our car and we're gonna get out. We just wanted to make sure we didn't hit them, if anything. And she just told them, if you don't shoot them, then I'll shoot you, and I'll shoot them, and then, no, nothing's gonna happen to me because I am who I am. So they ended up shooting this mother and son, like, right in the streets, which is just like, who the fuck knows if that's true? Sounds like some shit out of a movie. But, goddamn.
It should be wild out there, though.
Yeah,
No.
shit.
No, it's not.
Shit is wild, for real.
It's fucking crazy. Like, there's a picture of her circulating online right now, and in the picture alone,
Her in the black suit?
yeah.
Yeah, she looks like an evil villain.
Well, not even that. Like, if you look at her eyes, there's no life in her eyes. She has dead eyes. She has shark eyes. Like, there's nothing there. There's no emotion whatsoever. It looks like, if you just look at the expression in her face, it's almost like whoever she's looking at is, like, in her head, she's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill you so hard. Or like it looks like she's tabulating a death list in her head. Like, could you imagine, like, the guys that she fucks? Like, what they would have to go through?
They just
You know
lay
what I'm
there.
saying? You. I like you. Come here.
Joke's on you. She likes black guys.
Oh, dude, that'd be the spy for it. She likes the BBC. And I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting Company. You know what I'm saying? Like, she likes big, virile Nigerian men with swinging dicks.
Anyways, let's change topic to something else.
She would literally be nah, nigga, you brought this up.
Enough of the. I just want to get off the political fuckers. We've been going off political for 2 episodes. What else do we have?
But nah, she's gonna fucking, like, she would literally be like the Black Widow spider, like the literal Black Widow. She would literally fuck these dudes, and then because of the shame that it would be of fucking somebody that's not Korean or Asian for that matter, she'd be like, all right, you're dead now. Like, can you imagine? You know, we're gonna bring you in with promises of acting or modeling or something like that, and then the next thing you know, you have to fuck the Supreme Leader, and then you're gonna die.
The reason why she has those cold, beady eyes is because she's part romantic, so she actually eats the head of the victim.
Y'all are stupid.
It's fucking insane, bro. And anyways, more. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit because
before we switch gears, let's give a little remembrance to my dog. I forgot his name, but I always remember him from the movie Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, Irfa Khan.
Yeah, man, he passed away today. So just want to pay respect.
Not COVID related.
No, he apparently he had some type of rare cancer, and it was due to complications from I believe from what I read, it was a colon infection that he had, and that's what done him in. So unfortunately,
he had the poopy cancer.
Something like that. I forgot what type of cancer he had, but it was
poopy cancer. It was poopy cancer.
Poopy cancer? I don't know what that one is.
That's colon cancer. It's poopy. It's poopy cancer.
Wasn't it? It didn't say colon cancer. He said it was a colon infection, but that he was suffering from also this cancer that obviously makes your immune system even worse.
He had an infected poopy.
Well, I was trying to bring some dignity to it, but that went out the window real quick. Anyways, rest in peace, dude. Now that we're throwing dignity out the window, I hope the travel to the other passage is great.
Rest in peace, Mr. Poopy Butt.
Jesus Christ.
Nah. But in all seriousness, though, yeah, no, I remember him in Slumdog Millionaire, man. He was great. Was he the bad guy?
I believe so, and he was the he was the mob fucking boss.
Right. The mob leader or whatever.
Yeah, and his brother, not his brother, but the main character's brother was one of his hitmen or some shit like that.
Yeah,
he grew up to be a hitman, and the girl that he loved ended up becoming the mob boss's wife, some shit.
Girlfriend. Yeah.
Girlfriend, something like that. But yeah, he was also in Jurassic World. He was the not the first one, not the second one. Fallen Kingdom.
No, I've never seen either one of them. Of the new
ones. You've never seen them. I thought you said Fallen Kingdom. I was like, my bad. Yeah, he was one who bought the park.
Was he the T-Rex in that one?
He was the T-Rex. Yeah, he was old T-Rex.
He was that one. He was that one with that squirts the black ink on your.
Yeah, definitely. That was him. Exactly. And you say you didn't see it. Holy shit. You got him so perfect. No, but yeah, he was the guy who ended up buying the park after the first guy owned it. The Hammond, whatever. What was his name? Something Hammond.
Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he ended up buying the park, and he wanted to keep it along where his name. He was like a friend of his in the movie or in the story or some shit. But yeah, he passed away today. So.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. Fred the Godson. Like that was sad, man. I remember when he posted that picture, Fred the Godson. He posted that picture of him with the breathing mask.
The breathing mask. Yeah. That's sad,
saying
man.
like, yo, I got this COVID shit. Pray for me. And then 2 weeks later, the news comes out that he's gone. I mean, the West Side Gun from Griselda. he had it apparently, but luckily he survived and went through it. But now, which is great. But now you have, I don't know if I said it earlier, but yeah, you got Scarface now in Houston. Apparently, his kidneys are shut down because of complications from COVID.
Yeah,
Like that's
pressure
gonna
him.
be I'm telling you, that's gonna be the mark for at least the next few years here in the world when it comes to deaths now, not just celebrity deaths, but just deaths in general. They'd be like, oh, so and so died. Like, oh, was it COVID? Like that's gonna be the first question. For a while.
Well,
at least until the proper vaccine and it's out in the world and everything.
yeah. Well, RIP to those people. We want to change topics from a lighter note. So we'll make the last topic a lighter one. The Travis Scott Fortnite extravaganza. I attended it live.
Oh, first of all, stop saying attended.
Attended it live. You know what I mean? It was the third day that I attended on the last show. I'm not kidding. I actually attended it. My character did in the stadium.
So you didn't do shit. You sat in your ass on your underwear at home. Stop saying you attended.
I wasn't in my underwear. Okay, I was in my freshly bought new Adidas sweatpants. Shout out to Adidas because Nike doesn't make my size. So thanks a lot.
Well, yeah, they make them for regular sized people.
Yeah, well, those people be discriminating.
You know what? That's fine by me, Nike. You still have my money because I still fit your clothes.
Yeah, well, you don't shop at Nike. You shop at fucking, what is the smaller one? Nike Kids? Kids Foot Locker or some shit?
And you're where? The tent warehouse, right?
No, I go to Champs. Because Jordan's, yeah.
For people that weigh over 300 pounds. Champs. Oh. That was great. But no, I did see the, I wasn't, I don't have a Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, so I didn't see it when it actually happened. I saw the video that somebody took after the fact, but it was cool. It was fucking great.
Yeah, watching it is different than your character in it because you get more of the graphical aspect of it, like how well done it was. Because obviously, when you re-record it and you put it on YouTube, you can only get certain amount of quality than what the game can actually do for you if you have the right software or the hardware. Sorry. So I have a beast of a fucking computer, so I can play shit in pretty high quality because I have a 1070 GTX, and that graphics card is very, very good. So I had it on epic settings. That's the highest you can get on Fortnite. So I was able to see it's much different when you see it and it's full, like without any noise or anything. You know what I mean? And it was definitely dope. I'm not gonna lie. It was me, Lucky, Swan, and two friends of ours, Jackal and Case. We were only 4 people can go at a time, so it was Jackal and somebody else that went in by themselves. But the 4 of us went in the same lobby, and we were on the same map to watch it, and it was dope. It was really fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie. They did one with Marshmallow. It wasn't the same as this. Like the one with Marshmallow was just his character, the same size as your character on a stage, DJing. That's all it was. And the ones that Star Wars did were more like events where you can use the character in the game, like Marvel did with Thanos, where you find the gauntlet on the map, you turn into Thanos for like 2 minutes or some shit. It was a lot more visually appealing, and it was really psychedelic. I popped the full cookie. You know what I mean? Because usually I do one piece of a cookie. I popped the full cookie. I watched it. Huh?
Yo.
What time was the freak out?
2 hours in, when we were playing Call of Duty, I just started to feel real sleepy. and like I was getting like more like I felt like I was just gonna pass out. I wasn't freaking out. I just felt more tired than anything. I just laid. It starts like so. The concert started at 6. They had it on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We watched the last one. The last one was Saturday at 6. So we got on there. It told everybody to get on there 30 minutes before, so you can make sure you queue into the lobby. Because if it gets too full, all the lobbies, then you're just shit out of luck. You just watch the fucking YouTube video. So we got in there 30 minutes earlier. I ate the cookie like at 5:45, like maybe like 10 minutes before it was beginning. And I didn't feel it until like 2 hours later in the middle of a Call of Duty game. And like I was whiffing shots like badly, like more like I don't ever say I aim great, but at least in Call of Duty I'm decent.
No, I've seen your bathroom, bro. You're terrible.
Yeah, whatever. And like I don't want to hear that from him, who has no fucking. He's never even played games that I've played. But yeah, no, I started to feel it when I just couldn't aim at all on target, not even near the person, not a body shot, nothing. So I was like, man, my movement as a mouse feels slow. And I just slowly started to feel it throughout my body, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go lay down. So I lay down around at 9, and I woke up an hour later at 10, and I was fine. I got back up and went back to the computer, and I just kept playing.
True. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. I liked how it made it so that it affected the entire map and stuff like that, like visually, Like
people thought the old map was going to come back. That was the flying into the light but it didn't happen. A lot of people thought, because they were talking about bringing the old map, because I don't know if you know about Fortnite, which I just learned recently because I'm not even a Fortnite player, but I literally just downloaded it to do that, and I already uninstalled it because I don't play Fortnite. But when I did play it, it was like season 2, and now they're on season 8, but they're going back. So like they're like resetting it from the beginning, but with all the new stuff that they have. So people were like, the big thing that people were like, well, bring back the first map, because the map currently is not the first map. So everybody's like, yo, bring back the first map, and people thought, when I was watching it live, on people's stream, the day after I saw the playback of people streaming it, right? The first show. And a lot of them were like, at the end of it, when you're just gliding into the light after he finishes his new song with Kid Cudi, they thought, oh shit, they're teleporting us to the first map. That's what everybody thought. I think if they did that, that'd have been a big payoff.
I saw that too in the when I was watching the playback on YouTube. They were like, oh shit, they're bringing the old map back. They're bringing back the old map. They're bringing back the old map. And they did for a while, and they glossed over it for like a second, but then it brought you back to whatever the map is now. But no, I really liked what I really liked about it is that like the changes of the
environment,
map, of the environment while he was going, like when they went underwater, the entire map was underwater and shit.
Yeah, that threw me for like I was never expecting him to be Godzilla mode. Like it was just shocking to see him like that. That was really. The way they did it, it was they caught everybody off guard, because it was just so, like, he came in on a planet. No one thought that was going to happen. We really thought he was just going to be on stage, and it was just going to be his big hits, and like, oh, you got emotes, and yeah, it's going to be dope, but it's not going to be crazy. But when the fucking planet came in, and my favorite part, and it's really small, it's just when you start to hear the songs start coming on in the beginning, and it's people don't know Travis Scott's music. That part is actually at the end of a song. The way the beat kind of flows out, I'm like, that's the ending of a certain track of his, and they reversed it so it starts in the beginning, And the way there in the game, there was this big sign in front of the concert, and it gave you the timer of how long it's going to take for this concert to start. And it looked like it was like a TV from Futurama. And that opened up, like it opened up as if like, you know, you're draining some like water, and it's like the whole of it starts to spread out. That's what it looked like as his ship is coming into frame with the stage.
Yeah. It was what do you call it? It was the countdown. Yeah. Then you had like the portal with him coming out of it or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that little thing that was so dope though how they did it, and then his fucking like the star he was on came, and he even grabbed stars. Did you ever see that? He grabbed 2 stars to start the second song.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was dope. He grabbed 2 stars out the air and just mushed them together and did some Super Saiyan shit.
Okay. True. But yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. They were saying that first of all, it set a record. 12.3 million players logged on to.
I heard they got a lot of older fan base that made accounts and that they're still playing now. Like it upped their tick on the age. So it's not like a lot of people, because you know a lot of kids don't know who Travis Scott is. So a lot of people who do know were just like, let me just make this free account because Fortnite's free, and I'm just gonna sign in and watch this shit. So. And I guess they liked how it was, and because at the end you kind of get to play, like it brings you into a map, and then you play the end of a game. It's a team on team. So if you're on the blue team, it's like whoever's left on the map, they just divide them in half.
Now I know one thing was it wasn't just a concert. Like wasn't there like a Travis Scott skin or something like that you could?
It was a skin of him with all his tats on it and everything, but with Cactus Jack lit up in the back on his back. Or you can get one where it's all his tattoos, and then instead of the Cactus Jack, it was the Astro World hovering on his back. They gave you a glider, because now they have gliders, I guess. They used to just have like parachutes, but now they have gliders so you can glide. And one of his could be like a truck that he has, like a tour bus truck that's like decked out or some shit. I forgot exactly what it was. You can get some titles that go with your name. So if you win the game, they'll see your name title. I know it's like customized with Travis Scott on it or some shit. That's pretty much it. They didn't do much more as far as the skins. They gave you he's a part of the Icon series, I think now it's called, where it's like iconic people. Like they have Leia, not Leia. What's this chick's name from Star Wars? What the fuck? Why am I forgetting this? The new chick.
Oh, Rey.
They have Rey, because, you know, you can use her character in the game. Or now they have Deadpool, you know what I mean? They have some Marvel people that they finally added in.
Yeah, I saw that, Deadpool, yeah.
So yeah, they're a part of the Icon series, so, you know, you buy them, you get to use them as a skin, compared to the ones that they make for Fortnite of, like, you know, creative characters that they make, which is like a new skin. Like, it's like, oh, we're coming out with this Army edition, so it's like people that we created with, like, you know, Army attire, and it's like you can buy the package for like $5.99 or some shit. This one's they just gave it to you as part of, you were a part of it. If you attended the concert, that's what you got.
That's cool. Stop saying attended, for fuck's sakes.
That's what they're saying. Attended.
Ugh, Jesus.
It's an experience.
But no, they were actually saying people were saying that now this kind of might set a precedent to see if this like big name artists, they might do something like this, not just in Fortnite but just in general, like over the web. Like maybe they can, if they set up a whole thing and design a whole thing virtually.
I heard Fortnite got a lot of inquiries about it already.
Like, you know,
I'm already on the boat for Kendrick Lamar Fortnite. I'd love to see that. Something like that, Kendrick Lamar style. Hell yeah.
Kendrick Lamar would be dope. I think Drake would do great in that as well.
Yeah, Drake already kind of has already been a part of Fortnite before
Who the fuck is Drake?
with Ninja.
Who the fuck is Drake?
Who the fuck is Drake? What do you mean Drake?
I only know him as Aubrey. But yeah, man, like it was cool though. It was really cool. That being said, I'm kind of with Adam 22 on it. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm older, but like I don't get the if anything, I have a gripe with Travis Scott because now he's made the price of Nike SBs fucking skyrocket.
What do you mean?
Nike SBs.
The shoes, Nikes, the SB line specifically, the skateboarding line.
Is that what he was wearing on in the concert of Fortnite?
Probably.
There were some
yeah.
Nikes. I remember there were some Nikes. I don't know which ones.
It more than likely was the Travis Scott Nike SBs.
I was making sure I didn't get fucking stomped on in the middle of the concert because he was fucking giant. He was like giant size, and then at one point he became like Godzilla times 5. Like he became enormous. I was like, holy fuck! If this guy steps on me in this concert, I'm dead.
But yeah, if he did, it wouldn't have happened. Nothing would have happened, dude. I think it just would have.
It would have launched me. I've seen videos of people getting under him and they launch. They're up in the air, dude.
Mhm. Yeah. So because Travis Scott, he's like top tier, one of the biggest, not just acts in hip hop, but just one of the biggest acts in music. He's now at that level of what Jay-Z or Kanye was, where it's like anytime he's taking a photo in public, everything gets analyzed about what he's wearing. Oh, he's wearing this jacket, he's wearing these pants, these shoes, this hat, and that stuff gets bought out online. Like he's a walking advertisement, a walking billboard for everything now. So over the past few years, because he has those he has those collaborations with Jordan Brand that he's had.
Yeah.
And those were wildly successful. And now, so after the Jordan collabs, he started being photographed and seen wearing Nike SBs, skateboarding line. Now, the thing about it is that at the time that was happening, the Nike SB line was kind of going through a bit of a lull. There was a bit of a downslope. It wasn't as popular. It wasn't seen as a got to have shoe anymore.
I wanted it though.
Unless it was a specific collaboration or something like that, like a limited run. But then what started happening is that you started to see it on Travis Scott, and then you started to see it on Offset from the Migos, and on Quavo, and on a bunch of these new rap artists, and then all of a sudden, Travis Scott being on the forefront of it, he started wearing a lot of classic models, a lot of big hits from the past that now they started to it just skyrocketed the price of Nike SBs just across the board, because now all of a sudden the demand for Nike SBs started to go up again. So now, so it's a great time for sellers right now of Nike SB shoes, but for buyers like myself, it's a bit of a nightmare, because certain shoes that would back in the day cost, brand new would cost, even on the resale market, $180, $200, $225, $250. That same exact shoe now, base price, are like, I want $350. And you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what changed in 8 months? Travis Scott was seen wearing them now. So, like, even on, like, my, I'm part of a Facebook group online, for Nike SBs, and they're like, whenever people post, there's a lot of these memes going on, like somebody took a screenshot of these 4 little white kids, I guess doing a podcast on YouTube, and they were like, Travis Scott made Nike SBs relevant again, like, and everybody's just sitting there like face palm, just like, you just don't know. You're just clearly too young and uneducated. And that's the joke now. It's like, oh, Travis Scott saved SBs. Like that's the punchline now. But yeah, so he came out with his own shoe eventually, of course, after being seen in so many Nike SBs, Nike decided to do a collaboration with him on the SB line. So now he has his own signature SB, which currently, right now, if you were to try to get a pair brand new, you're spending no less, at minimum, $1,000.
Yeah, I'm good.
So to be honest with you, my personal, would I like to have the shoe? Yes, but only for the simple fact of the lore around it. Am I gonna make an active attempt to try to buy the shoe? Not even in the slightest. Because to be honest with you, even like looks wise, I'm not a big fan of the design. I'm just like, it's whatever.
It got my attention either. I'm an SB fan too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been interesting to see Travis Scott's impact just on culture. He makes great music. I'm a fan of his. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of his songs that I like, but it's now starting to boil over into. I mean, Travis Scott fans are like fucking hardcore about Travis Scott. Like it's crazy how much people love him. You know what I'm saying? But kudos to him, man.
He's a wonderful man.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Hey, how many minutes we got?
Well, we've been talking for an hour and 35, and we started, I think, 35 minutes in.
Okay.
So yeah, we can wrap it up right here.
Cool. Where can the people find you at, Elo?
They can find me at Elo Soul for all my social media, and they can find me at twitch.tv/Elo Soul. Every day except Wednesdays and Sundays, I will be streaming from 5 p.m. to around 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Times. I do have the Jackbox Fridays with my co-host Lucky Locks. You can find it I'm at I'm_Lucky_Locks on twitch.tv. And I do the book club with fellow streamers ND Steve and Ari, and or Ariel, sorry. So you can find them at also twitch.tv. ND_Steve for him.
Bimbo?
Y'all can find me on the Snap and Instagram, and you can find me by looking up Momo_Chiquito if you want to, or look up my name or whatever. Just holler at me if you want to get frisky.
And as always, we appreciate everybody and anybody that takes the time to download, stream, subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Thank you very, very much. The outpour of support, and we'd love to get all the feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. Be sure to follow us, the podcast, at Parental Advisory Cast on Facebook and Instagram, PA Pod 954 on Twitter, and PA Podcast on Snapchat. If you'd like to drop us a line, say what's up, topics that you'd like us to discuss, questions, comments, concerns, you could find us at parentaladvisorycast@gmail.com. You can listen and stay up to date with us. Either go to our podcast website at parentaladvisorycast.podbean.com. Shout out to Podbean. Be sure to download the free app today and make a free account so that you can stay up to date on all the latest and greatest podcasts, like your Joe Rogan Experiences, your Last House on the Left, and your Parental Advisory Podcast. I personally, you can find me at jserve954, JSERVE 954 on all social media. Once again, thank you very much to anybody and everybody that has streamed and shared the Carefree style. It's up right now. Like I said earlier, well over 1,500 streams now, and we're well on our way to 2,000. So thank you very much, guys. And if you'd like to donate to all my Spotify peeps,
Do it.
if you'd like to donate, Once again, like I said earlier, my personal Spotify page. Be sure to follow me there, and if you'd like to donate on the Serving Soul page, you can do that as well. When you see us there, be sure to give us a follow. And remember, 25% of all donations is going to be going to Feeding America, so to help keep food banks across the country stocked to help those that are currently hit hardest financially by this by the COVID-19 virus. So so it's going to a good cause, as well as that you're helping us out. You're also helping our fellow citizens and your fellow man out. So thank you very much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. And we will be back next week with some more nonsense for that ass.
Don't forget about us.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, peace.